Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. I am Deepak Rawat and along with me I have Kushani Thakur, and this is our first video, to be honest. So the whole idea of this page is to create awareness around environment, to talk about things which requires attention. So this is going to be a long series of videos around maybe climate change, the impact of climate change on society and the economy, and ultimately the environment. So today we are going to Triund. So this is a very short trip, and it is one of the very beautiful tracks in Himachal Pradesh. So the idea is not to talk about Triund, but rather talk about something which many people they don't understand. And if you can see, this is a very beautiful flower. This is Himalayan Rhododendron, and we also call this Burash. So if you can see, so this is a patch of rhododendron trees. So what's interesting about this flower is that this springs during the months of late February and early April, and this time the things are a bit different. So we noticed that in Himalayas and also in North India there is an early onset of summers. So early onset of summers means that usually we wait till last week of April for temperature that goes around 35 to 40 degrees in plains and around 25 to 30 degrees in Himalayan region. But this time we noticed that there is an early onset of summer. So accordingly things change when you talk about maybe Himalayan ecosystem. So I just want to give example of this flower. So we expect this flower to bloom during mid of Feb, during last week of Feb. But because of the early onset of summers and a very short spring in between winters and summers, so there is an early blooming of this flower in the forest, as you can see. And you can also see that the many flowers, trees have lost their flowers also. So in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you will see that there will be no rhododendron flower in these trees. So why it is important about to talk about this plant? So think about a very simple example of a food chain. For example, let's talk about butterfly. So butterfly, you know, that has different stages, starting from egg, then there is a pupa, then egg, then there is larva, then pupa, and then ultimately butterfly. So when the butterfly is in the stage of larva, or you can say caterpillar, they require very soft leaves to nibble on. So let's imagine, because of the early onset of summers, the trees will blossom early. There will be new leaves on the trees, supposedly in first week of Feb. But the butterfly will become caterpillar during maybe last or third week of Feb. So when the caterpillar will be ready in the forest, there will be no soft leaves to nibble on, and then the caterpillar will not be able to get the nutrition, and ultimately it will not become butterfly. And this seems to be a very simple case, but just imagine the total amount of such cases in a forest. There will be many insects that depends on these flowers for the nectar, on these soft leaves for nutrients. But when there is a mismatch between the life stage of an insect and the life stage of a tree, so it collapses the whole ecosystem. It will lead to less pollination. Ultimately it will lead to less flowering, less fruiting during the months of summers. So this is one of the cases that we want to highlight. So climate change will definitely have an impact. We know that the heat waves are rising. It will lead to illnesses. It will lead to diseases. But when you go for a very short hike and you just notice that there are beautiful flowers, which are definitely noticeable because the whole forest is green and these are few trees with red flowers. But we forget that how these small plant will be impacted, and ultimately this particular flower has a lot of vitamins and it is used to make maybe juice. So this is part of rural economy. But because of the mismatch of flowering and maybe the picking of flowers in the forest, ultimately it will have impact on the rural economy itself. So this is our way to at least talk about things which are usually ignored. So you will definitely see such videos in this whole series, and I hope that we will try to create some awareness. So please keep looking for these videos, and also join us or subscribe us. Thank you so much.